Up with us for the past 2 years, we've brought you the big news and the sheer fun times. Join us today as we celebrate our second anniversary. It's the Morning Edition Live.
It's been 2 years since the Morning Edition graced your TV screens at 6:30 a.m. Monday to Friday. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, joined by the very dapper Lloyd Allen. Lloyd, it's our second anniversary. We've got an exciting show coming up for our viewers to celebrate our second anniversary this morning. I know I have in my bag, some past experiences because I loved dressing up with my comrades over the past 2 years. So I'm going to let them just a little bit about what's in this bag. But Lloyd, we have an exciting show. We've got Patrice Morel in the house. We've got Dyson Knight. We also have Makushla and Jamanita. They're going to be joining us on the broadcast as well. We have you with traffic.
Definitely. It's going to be a great day today. And of course, over the past 2 years, it's been an amazing development here with the morning show. And of course, I know our viewers are excited. We're going to give you an hour packed with exciting content. Of course, LaDawn is dressed well today, and it's her birthday.
Yes, happy birthday to me, Lloyd. We also have past reflections by our very own Sieska Adderley and our Ted Jervis, who actually paved the way for you in terms of getting you all creative for the actual traffic report that we bring to our viewers every morning, Monday to Friday. Tell me a little bit about your reflections for the Morning Edition every morning.
Well, every morning, of course, over the past year for me, it's been an amazing experience going on the streets, speaking with Bahamians of all walks of life and giving the traffic report. I know people from all the way down in Albuquerque. I spoke to a lady the other day. She works at the General Post Office, and she said she's been watching since Dorian, and she's never stopped watching. And so this is somewhere where she's finding comfort and hope. Of course, I know that this show has been a tremendous wake-up for many Bahamians.
Because I know I spoke to you sometime this week about your reflections, but I also have in my bag, Sieska, Charles Fisher, he loved to dress up in his tutu and dance, do limbo dancing and his yoga. Even though he was a little stiff, he said he still was able to get it all done. So I have in my bag, Halloween. We dressed up for Halloween.
Oh, that's nice. I like this.
And then, we dressed up for Thanksgiving with Thanksgiving turkey shades in here. And, we also dressed up for Halloween in 2018. I was the rock punk girl for 2018 Halloween 2018. And I know I was also able to get a Cat Island shirt from Cat Island. I think the crew crew went down to Cat Island, and they had a great time down there. I think that was probably, a highlight for the Morning Edition.
Any cake in the bag?
No cake in the bag. I think we do have some cupcakes and some champagne for the crew to celebrate our anniversary. And I know earlier we also got a chance to speak to some of the former guests to talk about, their time on the Morning Edition. So we've got a lot of entertainment. We've got some special tributes for some persons that, that did some wonderful things here on the Morning Edition. I'm excited, Lloyd. It's my birthday. It's our anniversary, second anniversary.
Sweet 16, right?
And I know we color coordinated for the show as well. Your thoughts? I know you're excited. You're buzzing. You're beaming with pride and excitement for this morning show.
Well, of course, LaDawn, it's always a pleasure to work with you. And for all of our viewers, again, this is something that we've looked forward to over the past several weeks. We've been preparing, giving you content this morning that's going to keep you on top of the game, informed on traffic. And so it's going to be an amazing day, I think, over the next hour. You're going to be in for a show.
Okay, stay close. We've got an exciting second-year anniversary. All of that right after this.
Happy second anniversary to Morning Edition, and I watch it from time to time. And the quality of the interviews and the stories that are often featured are fantastic. continue the great work.
Congratulations on your 2-year mark of this beautiful journey that you've been taking. I was there from the beginning with performances with Willis and the Illis. I was there in the middle with performances with the Ladies Band. I was there even throughout that doing you guys makeup, coming on, showing you how to do makeup. So it's been an amazing journey for you guys as well as myself to see you guys grow into a beautiful, just transitioning into something very beautiful. And I hope and I pray that you guys continue on.
It may be the living room or dining table. Some of life's most valuable moments happen at home. And with the unmatched value of a BTC bundle, you'll discover how fun home can be. Get a triple play bundle for great savings on the best internet to learn from home, Flow TV for the best entertainment with the family, and home phone with overseas and unlimited local calls for as low as $99.99. Discover how home should be with BTC. Conditions apply.
Dolly Madison Home Center wishes to advise the public that they are in the process of moving their operation from the rear into the front to the rooms to go area. Dolly Madison Home Center's commitment to the Grand Bahama community continues to be as it always was, strong. And Dolly will continue to serve Grand Bahama for many years to come. They have a vast inventory in stock, so if you don't see what you need, be sure to ask.
Come on now.
Hi, welcome to Dream Girls. We offer a wide variety of hair care, and your everyday beauty needs.
Here at Dream Girls, we carry a wide variety of products for natural or relaxed hair, such as ORS, Pure Care, and Shea Moisture. We also carry a large selection of weaving, braiding, and crochet hair. You can expect to find a private wig room, a large variety of products, and service with a smile. Whether you're shopping for a party, a corporate event, or your everyday working woman, Dream Girls can make your dream become a reality. Live your dream, experience your dream, Dream Girls.
We have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Village Road Shopping Center, Prince Charles Shopping Center, and Legacy Plaza located on Prince Charles next to BTC Cash and Go. Here at Dream Girls, enhancing beauty becomes your reality.
We Buy You Sell offers the best in impact windows and doors. The first line of defense in protecting your home and family with premium designs and affordable pricing. We can make your dream home a reality. We also stock a wide variety of tiles such as porcelain, mosaic, and plank tiles. We offer the lowest rates in the country. Located at number 163 Robinson Road. Call 677-2856 or 324-6427. We Buy You Sell. Come and see us today.
When we talk about Bahamians, we talk about a diverse people with very different dreams and goals. What we have in common, what makes us truly Bahamian in our hearts and in our souls, is our love of this beautiful country, our faith in the Almighty God, and our unshakable belief that we are each our brother's keeper. Happy anniversary of independence, Bahamas. From your family at Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Welcome back to our second anniversary celebrations. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a severe impact on the city center. For the most part, many stores remain in limbo. The Morning Edition has been guiding you through the pandemic, and this morning we continue to focus on the heart of the capital, which has been hit to the core by COVID-19. Our Jimanita Swain is in Parliament Square with the Managing Director of the Downtown Nassau Partnership. Good morning, Jimanita.
Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. Of course, we're coming to you live from Parliament Square, and the Downtown Nassau Partnership has been an organization that has been working to transform the city center. But of course, we have all been impacted by COVID-19, and joining me live to talk about the impact and the work through the pandemic is, of course, the Managing Director, Mr. Ed Fields. Good morning, Mr. Fields, and of course, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning to you.
Now, tell us the impact. Obviously, we know the impact on the country, on the economy that COVID-19 has had. But what have the organization, what have you been doing in light of what's been happening to kind of keep things moving forward as we've seen the reopening?
Well, good morning again. But the biggest impact that the whole thing has had, of course, is our source of funding, which are based on occupancy rates of places like the Hilton. So we've had to obviously manage our resources, and things like maintenance of landscaping and the Pompey space and the Rosslyn Square space, Parliament Square space has had to been less frequent. That's the immediate impact. Obviously, we've had to cut back on some personnel. We also, of course, had to cut back on things that we do, like Authentic Bahamas, which it's a weekly craft, essentially sales on the Pompey Square area, and of course rental of the space, Pompey Square, Marlborough Square, and Rosslyn Square, due to social distancing issues.
So,
go ahead.
I was going to say, obviously, a part of that, too, is factoring how do you have events and keep people safe at the same time.
Well, so, essentially what we've done is there are no events. We don't, we've prohibited any events from happening on those spaces. With regard to our plans, most of our plans are kind of behind the scene. Things like the development of the boardwalk, the talking to government about building heights, the leasing of seabeds so that we can use the boardwalk. So those are kind of been completed. We are working with government to try to create an entity called the BID, the Business Improvement District, so that we are more directly responsible for the day-to-day management of downtown, i.e. garbage collection, sidewalk cleaning, which of course we do now, which has had to be restricted. And so those type of things are kind of ongoing. We're pleased to note that, of course, some of the developments that we helped to try to coordinate, like the demolishing of the post office, construction of Central Bank, we don't control these things directly at all, but we've been involved with coordinating that or helping that to move along from the perspective of the overall downtown development. Of course, the U.S. Embassy is under construction, and so we're very pleased with that. And also we've been, I suppose, in a consultative role, been involved with the redevelopment of the Nassau Port. So, those things are ongoing, and we're pleased about that. Unfortunately, of course, and we now know the impact of the cruise industry, with essentially the cruise industry coming to a screeching halt. We now know what real impact it does have on our economy. Bay Street is probably 90% based on the revenues they get from the cruise ship industry, and as that has come to a screeching halt, so has Bay Street. So that's where we are.
Now, I know one of the events that was mentioned, I think back in June, was the downtown Under the Stars. Has that been totally scrapped as well, or is it basically in a holding pattern as we've seen with other events as we try to manage the pandemic in terms of social distancing and other safety protocols that have been implemented? What's the status on that?
Right. So back in June, the Prime Minister announced his initiative to try to stimulate small businesses. Of course, since then, a lot has changed. We are still in the development process. In other words, it's being planned and has been planned to a large extent. This Saturday, in fact, we're doing some vetting of food trucks to make sure that they are in compliance and meet the standard that we want to create for the event. But again, events like that are, like you say, in a sort of a stop-and-go pattern because of the social distancing. You know, if you want to have the kind of economic activity that you wish to create with an event like that, that also conflicts with social distancing. So we were very conscious of, you know, just taking it slow one day at a time, but planning it so that when the opportunity does come, we're ready to go.
Now, we know that the emergency orders are still in place. You know, the Parliament is going to have a debate this morning on the extension of the resolution. And obviously, COVID is not going anywhere. How concerned are you in terms of the future plans, and where we need to be focused on if COVID is something that we're going to be having to live with and manage in our day-to-day moving forward?
Well, of course, we're all very concerned. We're all in survival mode. There has to be some sort of mitigation that will bring about a massive turnabout in business, i.e. a vaccine or some sort of treatment. It does, you know, if there is a silver lining, that is, I would recommend to government to use as much of this time as possible to clean up, fix up, not only government, of course, the private sector, clean up, fix up, everywhere, of course, from my perspective, specifically downtown, which also stimulates the economy from the perspective of getting people working. This is an opportunity to paint, to repair, to maintain, and to get us ready for what will come post this problem. And of course, you know, again, from my perspective of not only Downtown Nassau Partnership, but being involved with the Nassau Cruise Port, that we're taking this opportunity to try to go as fast as we can, full steam ahead, with redevelopment of the port. There are certain advantages to being able to do it while everything is not operational, because it creates less havoc in terms of logistics. But of course, that also has its major impact on folks like the vendors in the festival place, taxi drivers, tour bus operators, horse and surrey ride drivers. So it's just a very difficult time, and I don't know if anyone really has any sort of prediction or prescription with regard to what is going to happen and what is happening.
It seems like a project with many moving parts, but of course, as you say, all of us have to be safe and focused on the way forward.
Right.
Thank you so much. That is, of course, Mr. Ed Fields, the Managing Director of the Downtown Nassau Partnership. Back to you in studio, LaDon.
Thanks a lot, Jomanita. We're going to check in with the sketch artist, Cody, to see what he's up to. But she's an officer and a tour guide for more than 2 decades. Vanita Humes has been showing guests to the Bahamas some of the most historic spots on the island and the stories behind them. Here's Cleopatra Murphy.
For the past 24 years, she has been providing tourists a different view of the city, avoiding the hustle and bustle of traffic, offering a more slow-paced and intimate experience with the sights to be seen on New Providence. Tour guide Vernita Humes offers an hour-long guided historical walking tour of the downtown area that she is proud is unique.
Actually, I'm the only one that really does the walking tour in Nassau, Bahamas. That's the only difference of the tour. Everybody do sightseeing tour, taxi. scooter, this, whatever, but the walking tour, I'm the only one doing that. So right now, that's the difference between all the tours out there.
Humes, who showcased several spots on her once popular tour, admits it has taken a hit since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I'm not doing anything now because there's no tours in, because the harbor is closed, no cruise ship can come in our port. Before that, it was coming in, but it's not as fast as it normally used to be, but it was slow until up to that day.
While there are very little tourists these days, her favorite parts of the tour are the courthouses because of her profession as a police officer, and there is Parliament, where the country's laws are set. It is at the Senate building where she gives her guests a rundown of governors general past and present and the current makeup of the Senate, a part of the legislature, the second branch of government. Humes explains why what she offers is superior.
Well, you get to see more with the walk-in because I know I actually take you inside to see, driving they pass and just give them the history. But I actually take you inside the building and give you the history of the buildings.
From there, she takes guests to other places of significance like Rawson Square to view the bust of Sir Milo Butler, the first Bahamian Governor General. Then there is Government House to see the statue of Christopher Columbus, the founder of the New World, who has in recent years become controversial. There is also a visit to St. Andrew's Presbyterian Kirk, started by Scottish settlers, and its cornerstone was originally laid back in 1810. Humes says for her, it is important to give accurate information.
From my heart, I give you the offer. I rather give you what I have to offer than give you false information. Sometimes the tourists read up before they come. It happened to me before because I get a guy on the tour. When I read by St. Andrew Presbyterian, he says, "Stop, ma'am." He didn't lie to me because I read before I come in. So that's why you have to be honest to these people because they read up before they come here.
The tour guide says she gets great satisfaction exposing tourists to different aspects of the country, and she gets numerous return customers in the process.
It's a wonderful thing to get to know the Bahamas. Our country is a beautiful country to show the tourists what we have here to offer. It's not a Caribbean country, it's like our country in the Bahamas. And I love doing it.
For locals wanting to explore the city from a different vantage point, Hume says she also offers guided tours for groups and schools. Cleopatra Murphy, The Morning Edition.
Now we're joined by sketch artist Cody Conyers. Cody, welcome to our second anniversary celebrations.
Thank you.
So talk to me a little bit about your career. How did it all start?
It all started, first I was a sportsman. I used to do sports, preferably track first. And then, I had some kind of complications due to injury-wise. And from there, I always drew. I finished my coursework, etc. from my grade 11 to grade 12. I didn't have much to do in class. So this was something I just leaned on forward to. And then coming out of school is just something I preferably decided to do.
So how many people can you say you've been able to sketch so far in your career?
Roughly, I think I've been doing good. I'd say about a little under, a little over 500.
And you're just 22 years old?
Yeah, just 22.
And what's it been like for you? I see you're doing something very special here this morning. I didn't realize what you were doing, but tell me about what you're doing.
Yeah, it's been doing good. This here is you, actually.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday. I just heard you were celebrating a birthday.
Yes.
So this will probably be a better opportunity, a better chance to, celebrate with you.
So how long would it take before you can, I guess, get this done? Because we're going to check in a bit with you later on in the show to see how you're progressing. How long do you think it would take before you get
right now,
done?
I think I'm doing good. I'd say about another, surely right before we're done. This will be finished. We'll be able to display and show exactly what's going on.
And what have the Bahamian public been saying to you about, I guess, you being a sketch artist and you doing, I guess, your business opportunity and what you've been able to do outside of your academics?
It's been good, I guess it's been good. I've been encouraged, and that's what stopped me, and that's what caused me from not stopping. And I always had to drive from school. I've never worked a job in my life. This is something I want to do, and I'm pursuing that.
Okay, thank you, Cody. We'll check it back in with you to see how you've been progressing. But we're going to now go to a brief video by our very own producer, Betty Thompson-Moss, who'll be reflecting on her 2 years as the producer. Let's take a look.
Morning Edition began 2 years ago. The idea was to present to our viewers and the Bahamian public a show that was different from the regular evening news or national report. We wanted viewers to wake up to not only developing stories or those stories that were breaking. We wanted to present to them a new perspective, a behind-the-scene kind of view of what was happening not only in your neighborhoods or maybe even in one of your islands. And we had reporters who went out and tried to do something different. I recall the first morning, July 23rd, when we went on air. It was different. It was historic. And it was like the pace setter. COVID-19 really changed the face of Morning Edition in a way that it's difficult to describe. There was a time when we had healthcare doctors, nurses coming into the station talking about everything. We had to ensure that we were wearing masks. We also had to make the extra effort to not only abide by the curfew laws, but to ensure that our guests were not here, but we had to reach out to them by Zoom and still make it an effective show. And going forward, we want to take this to another level where you see more of Morning Edition coming from various sites, various sceneries, and more of our family island involvement that is necessary as we plan to grow and develop this program.
Well, of course, you know that this morning we have a series of trivia questions, and the first one today is, who was the first general manager of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas?
Now, the first person to call in with the answer gets to... Now, the first person to call in with the answer gets a chance to walk away with a new telephone courtesy of BTC or Alive. The number to call in is 502-3833. And still to come, we take to Parliament Square for a continued look at downtown and its changing face despite the current pandemic. You're watching the Morning Edition 2nd Anniversary celebrations.
Morning Edition is a part of my routine every morning. And I just want to send a congratulations out to the entire team. You all are doing an excellent job. It's been 2 years. It seemed as if it was just yesterday. And I want to say congratulations to all of you. You're doing an excellent job.
You stole me away from another station, from another country that I used to watch every morning, but I can tell you now I'm tuned in, and being a person that was on air myself live, it's such a pleasure and such a wonder. I can tell you your traffic report saved me a few days when I had to divert because of an accident that was on the road. So like I said, congratulations, and you're doing an awesome job.
I'm free to live my life, yeah, yeah. Free to be me, yeah. The way I wanna be. Doing the things that I wanna do with my family and my crew. Styling all the way through, 'cause I got it covered. BAF has got me covered. I'm free to lie on the beach, stare at the sky, working hard at what check my new wheels, just relax without strife. Make my girl my wife. 'Cause I'm living my life, hey, BAF for life. Yes, I'm living my life, hey, BAF for life, for life. Yes, I'm living my life, hey, BAF for life, for life. Yeah, FS got you covered.
Are you in a fight against debt? Or maybe you need financing for additional expenses? BOB is ready to fight for you. We are ready to rumble and help you knock out debt with the lowest consumer loan rates in the Bahamas on debt consolidation and easy top-up consumer loan. With BOB in your corner, debt doesn't stand a chance. Apply today for your BOB Easy Top-Up or Debt Consolidation Loan. Call 397-3000 or email us at loans@bankbahamas.com. BOB, your bank. Our solution.
Bonaventure Medical Laboratory, your partners for quality health care, East Avenue, Centerville, just below Centerville Food Store. Bonaventure Medical Lab offers confidentiality and comfort while making your lab experience pleasant and relaxing. Our experienced staff gives service with a smile. We accept all major credit cards and insurance co-payments.
Bonaventure Medical Laboratory is now open in the Sandyport Plaza, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Centerville location is open daily 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1.
Make the switch to Pennzoil.
Purchase a quart or more of any Pennzoil lubricant at any Shell station, and you could win $250 from BPL or from Kelly's. You count on your car. Keep your engine clean and responsive with Pennzoil. And when you purchase a quart or more of any Pennzoil product at any Shell service station, you could win a $250 gift certificate from BPL or from Kelly's. Ask for Pennzoil at your favorite Shell. Promotion runs until August 12th.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family. We at Doctors Hospital have been hard at work preparing for the new normal. From COVID screening as you enter the facility to mandatory hand and shoe washing station. To further limit contact, we have launched a concierge service that allows for pre-registration and in-car waiting. Scheduling for imaging, laboratory, rehabilitation, and other services has also been adjusted. And our pharmacy is now offering curbside pickup and delivery. We're here to serve you with the same quality and care that you've come to expect. Doctors Hospital. Trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Hi, I'm Dr. Ferguson. During this global pandemic, we ask for you to be responsible. As we fight this COVID-19 virus together, we would like to encourage you to do the following. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or tissue when coughing and sneezing. Please practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. If you must go out, wear a mask. We stay here for you. Please stay home for us. To those who are on the front line, we salute you as we continue this fight together.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with GD Media Solutions and this television station.
What I love most about working for the Bahamas tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence. We cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the Northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
Let's stay COVID-free. Remember the 3 S's. Sanitize, social distance, and stay inside.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. When a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours, you should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television or radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets, and sleeping bags handy, and keep children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and a car tank full of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds up to 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables in a waterproof container and store them on the highest floor in your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Well, the redevelopment of the Nassau Cruise Port, a key feature in the overall transformation of downtown Nassau, a major undertaking centered on developing culture, heritage, and the tourism product. Well, joining us this morning is Regional Director of Global Ports Holding for the Caribbean and the Americas, Michael Moore. Mr. Moore, welcome to the morning show, especially on our second anniversary.
Yeah, good morning.
Now, we can see for ourselves that the demolition of the multi-million-dollar project has begun. But let's deal with the reality first. And the reality is that COVID has impacted everything. To what extent has that been the case for moving ahead with the progression of the project?
Well, you know, obviously this pandemic is about 4 to 5 months old from our perspective. And when the Prime Minister came out with the emergency orders, it definitely had an impact on the progress that we'd had up to, I think, March, April. But the delay was limited to about 6 weeks. So when you look at the fact that the project spans 24 months, 6 weeks is a small delay.
Now, what about the procedures, the special procedures rather, in terms of getting in your supplies to continue on with this? I know you said you were back by 6 weeks. Did that all have to do with the fact that, hey, you know, you had to It impacted the time to get in the supplies needed to progress?
Yeah, not really. And the reason for that is, you know, you correctly indicated the first phase of the project is demolition. So we would have taken down the customs warehouse, and for folks that have been down on the waterfront, they would have seen that that's come down. The next phase will be Festival Place, and then after that, the port building. So this year is really about demolition. Then we have the primary general contractor, which is Anka, will be on site in August, and we expect to drive pile in October. So, and that's just barges out in the harbor driving sheet pile to create this brand new pier, because a big part of our project is the fact that we're going to be able to handle 3 Oasis-class ships when the cruise industry returns.
Now, you make a good point about 6 weeks not being a very long time when you consider that the entire project is 24 months. But have there been any efforts to speed up things a little bit in terms of making up for the 6 week time loss?
Sure. I mean, obviously when, you know, life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And so for us, we're using this time to fast track areas of the project, but most of it's about the pier works. It's, you know, while it's terrible and unfortunate and painful not to have those cruise ships in the harbor and those thousands of passengers disembarking, the fact is that without thousands of passengers disembarking and walking down the piers, it gives us the opportunity to realign our project and also to work safer, more efficiently. So we're going to use that time.
I know the project is keen on providing employment for as many Bahamians as possible. What does that number stand at right now?
Well, again, focused on the demolition at the moment. We, as a company, have hired 18 Bahamians. We have, I'm proud to say, we're all Bahamian. We have engaged just over 40 Bahamian companies already in the project. And the folks that have been specific to the demolition of the customs warehouse, I think it was about 20 Bahamians at that point. Most of the employment around the project is going to happen when we get on the upland side, and that's when we're building the arrivals terminal, we're building all the retail spaces, the entertainment venues and so forth. That's when you're going to see a big spike.
I've been following you guys on Facebook, and I see you've put out a few names there, big rig artists, in terms of who people would recommend performing at the amphitheater in 2022. What's been the feedback online from Bahamians?
I think overall people are excited about the opportunity to see some type of tier 1 entertainer, you know, here in Nassau. You know, for us, you know, it's not realistic for us to you know, expect to have a tier 1 international star, you know, in our amphitheater every week. That's not going to happen. But if it were to happen, you know, every 6 months, that would be awesome. What it does actually is elevates the brand of our amphitheater and makes it even more special for Bahamian artists that then step on that same stage, you know, 360 days of the year, whereas, you know, 5 days of the year we had that fantastic international artist.
Now, I know that once completed, this entire project is really crucial to the redevelopment of downtown Nassau. It goes without saying there. Expand on the importance, what this means for not only Nassau, but what this means for the economy of the Bahamas for us.
Sure. Well, I was listening to Mr. Fields speak just a few minutes ago about the significance of the cruise industry to downtown. And as we can all see, you just drive downtown and you see that it's painful down there economically. And what we're doing is something that's different. For anyone that's taken a cruise that's gone through the Caribbean, they're running into the same luxury brand retail outlets. And I suspect that when a person finishes their 7-day cruise and they're sitting in Milwaukee or New York, wherever they happen to come from, and they're talking about the watch they bought or the story they had, they're probably struggling to remember, was that Cayman, was that this, that, because they all look the same. Ours is going to be so uniquely different because we have a very strong theme around authentically Bahamian, and that goes right into the retail that you're shopping and you're buying. It goes into the food that you're eating. It goes into the entertainment that you're listening to. And so we're all about the experience. We're creating the experience. That's what people want, experience. They can buy that watch anywhere. And so we're going to make this very special about Bahamian. We're also complementing downtown Bay Street. You're not going to find the luxury brands that you have on Bay Street sitting in our area.
Now, I know you just had a very successful bond offering. Is there any plan, I know this was up in the air, but is there any plan to have a similar exercise despite the success of the first?
Yeah, so around first, second quarter of next year will be the second offering, and that's going to be an equity offering. And the minimum subscription price of that equity will be $1,000. Because obviously with the first tranche that we went out with all that debt, the minimum was $50,000. And so there's a lot of people out there that want to be able to kind of get a piece of this very valuable national asset. And so that's why we've set that target at $1,000 each.
Well, thanks so much once again. That was Michael Mora joining us here from the Global Ports Holding, the regional director of the Caribbean and the Americas. You're watching the Morning Edition, the second anniversary. Stay with us.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Missed something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
It is important to take precautions to reduce your risk of getting infected with COVID-19, even when you go to the grocery store. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others while you wait in line to enter the store. One person per household needs to go. Use wipes to disinfect the cart or basket handle that you select. Avoid touching your face, unnecessary items, and surfaces. Try to touch only what you are buying. So carry a grocery list to help you move along quickly. Do not forget to wear a cloth mask while you do your shopping and carry hand sanitizer with you. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others as you shop and at the cash register. As little time as possible in the store and get enough groceries to last you for a while. Once your groceries are packed and loaded, use hand sanitizer and rub your hands together until they are completely dry. When you come home from the grocery store, take off your shoes at the door and put all of your grocery bags in one area. Disinfect your grocery bags. Rinse produce and wipe down cans and packages with soap and water before you put them away. Wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds when you are done. Wash your clothes and your reusable grocery bags.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Stop in the name of love before you catch Stay here. You ain't gonna listen. Oh, you still getting it. You do the chaos. Okay, not a problem. Listen, you gonna need these masks. Since you have to go, you got to put them on one every hour. And listen to me, you're gonna need some gloves. Blow that up, okay? Put these on, and then you know something. You know what? They gonna go up your nose. Be back in Nassau in 72 hours. Or else the Q-tip going up your nose, or you're going in quarantine. You understand? Since you have to go, but be safe. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna stay home and try my best to be safe and hand sanitize. Since you have to go, yeah.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this television station.
We, the body of the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists, or BAMAT, offer this pronouncement because our celebratory activities were suspended. We wish to say thank you to all essential healthcare workers, police and defense force officers, and to encourage the youth of this nation to seek out fields in the medical laboratory profession, and to let you know that this is a viable option for a successful and rewarding career. Scholarships are available through the Ministries of Health and Education to help you reach your goals. This announcement is brought to you by the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Hey, long time no see.
You hear me?
Long time no see.
Boiled fish, stew conch. I love it all.
Tourists come here to take our tours, experience our sun, sand, and sea, and they also spend money around town.
I used to see a bunch of hogfish around here, but nowadays, I hardly see any.
You protect one area, the fish do their thing, make a bunch of babies, that spread all over the sea. What's the problem?
If we protect certain parts of our sea, it keeps all parts working right.
I was against that phrase, but knowing what I know now, I totally agree with having marine protected areas.
I support marine protected areas.
We support marine protected areas.
Look for Bahamas Protected on Facebook.
Sign the petition. Sign the petition.
Welcome back to our second anniversary celebrations. Well, Lord, you have been covering traffic for, I guess, a few months, and I know you have to make a correction.
Well, yes, before we get to that, of course, they say one word makes a big difference, and that question, of course, earlier, who was the first general manager? It's the first female general manager. Very important correction there.
And just before, we now want to go to a special traffic reflections by our Sieska Adderley and Ted Jervis. Take a look.
Our baby is going to be 2 years old now. I wanted that incorporated, the traffic and the weather aspect of it, especially with the drone shots. And so as a commuter, I would have liked to have had a heads up on what was going on, where it was happening, and so on and so forth. And there was no way of us to know that prior to the morning edition.
I have memorable moments with everything as it relates to the morning edition, particularly just the amount of fun we had, the camaraderie that we were able to form on the morning edition, just dressing up for the different seasons. You know, we had Halloween, we had Christmas, and, you know, the different features that we did, the trash talking among the various anchors on the morning edition. Even, you know, that man who shall remain nameless, Fisher, you know, the banter that we had too, it just made it that much more fun to come to work. It made it enjoyable, and you didn't feel that you know, it was a struggle to get up in the morning, but you didn't feel it because you were having fun.
Well, of course, before we go into our live traffic interview with Traffic Officer Cresenia Johnson, what about those big questions about how does traffic get started in the morning? I did an interview with them earlier, and here's what they had to say about the whole wrap-up. The Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division is an important component for managing, protecting, and monitoring motorists. It is this department which has assisted the Morning Edition over the past 2 years in alerting the public on various roadworks, diversions, and general tips while driving. As part of this special anniversary show, we saw it fitting to provide you with a look into the life of operations at the East-West Highway Headquarters, assisted by Traffic Officer Sergeant Cresenia Johnson.
Traffic is multifaceted, and this would be the first place that you would come in contact with traffic officers.
Johnson says it is at this desk that the public is able to address various traffic matters.
You'd be able to present your insurance, your driver's license, any documentation that pertains to your vehicle. In addition to that, when you're inquiring about traffic accidents, you would also produce your notice of intended prosecution form.
She explains that this location also serves as the heart of the division, which is key in collecting and distributing information to other areas.
When it comes to getting into all the schematics, we come here to the system, especially preparing for the Morning Edition. We stop here first to find out the morning update. Any traffic accident that was to be reported to the traffic department would be reported first here. Once it's reported here, the information is going to be spread out, it's going to be dispatched, it's going to be investigated.
The next area we move to is the investigations department for all general motor vehicle or road-related incidents.
We have a number of supervisors in this department, and these supervisors are highly trained officers who specifically deal with traffic investigation. So any investigative process, knowing the Road Traffic Act and enforcing the rules as it pertains to your accident, that is done in this department.
Then there is the Serious Accidents Division.
This office is also responsible for any statistics that is related to serious accident investigation and traffic fatalities. But when you see officers on the accident scenes cutting off, even using fluorescent signs, that is because a serious accident is being investigated within that area. Have you ever wondered what happens after a traffic accident is already investigated on that scene? Well, this is it. These officers here are entering a matter into the AS400 system. This is a required procedure once a traffic accident occurs. So ladies and gentlemen, when you're driving your motor vehicles, all of the information it is going to be documented in our system, so all officers around the Commonwealth of the Bahamas would be able to access that information and have that readily available for you.
From the time officers arrive at work, being aware of developments throughout the country is key as officers patrol the streets and report details on our morning show. In the bike storage garage, a memory of a fallen officer is a daily reminder of what could happen, but also why these men and women brave nature and other conditions it is to protect and serve. For the Morning Edition, and just like magic, she's here. This morning, I'm joined by Sergeant Cresenia Johnson from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, who's giving you an initial look at overnight traffic.
A pleasant good morning to you and a pleasant good morning, Bahamas. Overnight, we have had 13 accidents involving damages, 4 accidents involving injury, and 3 hit-and-run accidents. At this time, we have 17 persons hospitalized, and 2 of them are minors as a result of being involved in the traffic accident.
I know, Officer Johnson, we've talked earlier, and with many of these incidents that happen on the street, speed is normally a factor. What do you have to say to motorists when they're taking a loved one in the event of an emergency? What should they do?
Okay, whenever we see that it's a practice, and that's been a practice for some time now as it relates to when incidents happen and we want to get that medical service provided as soon as possible. So if it is that you may be in a situation, emergency situation that has to deal with medical services, and you need to arrive to a PMH or doctor's hospital or whatever nearest medical facility, I'd ask you as much as possible to contact 911 or 919. Speak to the dispatch officers. Once you call 911 or 919, you have the emergency medical service dispatchers as well as police dispatchers at your aid. So as much as possible, communicate with these officers so they can get that attention to your matter and they can assist you as best as possible.
And of course, Officer Johnson, in the event that an incident happens after curfew, after 10 p.m. at night, what procedure should happen then?
Still in play is the 511 and 311 hotline. So you can dial those numbers again, dial those contacts, or you can dial the 911 or the 919 hotline, and all of those persons are available to assist you.
Well, some great information there. Of course, as I like to refer to her, our very own Crescenia Johnson, giving you an update on overnight traffic. We'll take a break at this time. On the other side, there's more on this special second anniversary show.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
A part of all our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone.
Kids, lunch is ready.
ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
When a hurricane watch or warning is issued, medical emergency services are placed on high alert. For many persons seeking medical care, defining what an emergency is can be difficult to assess given all that is occurring during the storm. The following basic guidelines are designed to help you assess your emergency. If you are experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, severe pain, disorientation, extreme vomiting or diarrhea, vision disturbance or suicidal thoughts, you should seek immediate medical assistance. If you are bleeding significantly or otherwise severely injured, seek emergency assistance immediately. Children presenting with symptoms like high fever and extremely listless or lethargic behavior need to be taken to the emergency room immediately. If you are unsure of the extent of your condition, you are advised to seek medical assistance immediately. Share your symptoms with the on-call doctor and get advice as to whether or not it can wait until normal business hours. Remember, emergency care is not a convenient option for basic medical care during a storm. The Public Hospitals Authority encourages members of the public to use these basic guidelines to help decide on whether something is an emergency or not. The authority reminds the public that in the case of an emergency, always call 919 or head immediately to the emergency room. This message is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
As an artist, I travel all over the world and I find inspiration all around me. From the people and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
The medical technologists, with the help of lab aides and phlebotomists, test all bodily fluids to provide results. Without this group of professionals, the physicians, surgeons, and nurses will be handicapped in the management of their patients. Our test results clearly indicates if you suffer from any kind of disease or illness, be it cancer, diabetes, AIDS, or even the flu. It is important to note that even while you are asleep, we're testing. While you're in isolation, we're testing. While you are in lockdown, we are testing. BAMAT wishes you to remember that medical technologists, phlebotomists, medical technicians, cytologists, cytotechnicians, histologists, histotechnicians, microbiologists, pathologists, and lab aides all work as a team to get results for you. So please, stay home for us. This announcement is brought to you by the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Well, we're going to check in just a little bit with Cody the artist, and I think he's sketching me perhaps for my birthday and perhaps us celebrating our second anniversary. I think he's also going to be sketching a few of the other anchors, Jim Anita and Fisher, who's not here as well. But BTC is also in the house this morning celebrating our second anniversary. Chief Operations Officer Andre Foster, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition.
Good morning.
As we celebrating our second anniversary.
And happy birthday.
Thank you so much. So talk to us a little bit about how is BTC faring in the midst of COVID-19?
Sure, so COVID-19, obviously for everybody, it's really put us all in kind of a loop, right? So we continue to focus on three key things, right? Our customers, our colleagues, and the community. So from a customer perspective, we've been doing a lot to make sure that the network is standing up to the efforts of people working from home. Certainly everybody's now working within their households. You know, kids are learning from home, so we've improved speeds on the fixed network, so we've done a lot of work there. We've also made sure we take care of our employees. So our employees, we've had no layoffs at all since we've actually gone through the COVID-19 pandemic, and we've committed to our staff to keep everybody employed, including our contractors, so a lot happening there. And then from a community perspective, we've done a whole lot to make sure that we've introduced not only just giving PPE, but also new products and services to our commercial customers and giving free services to customers that are in need of it.
What are some of the plans for BTC as we maneuver, I guess, or in the fight for COVID-19?
So, I mean, just like every business, we're reshaping, right? So we're looking at ways to reduce our costs, to make sure that we're efficient in the way that we operate. This includes making sure that we have a good base of operations. So we're starting to actually reduce some of the footprint of our buildings. All of our staff are working from home now, so we're focused on making sure that they can stay safe throughout this pandemic. We feel the home environment's a better place for them to have it instead of being in an office environment where there's a lot of people. So a big focus on work from home. In fact, all of our staff work from home currently. And we continue to make sure that we're introducing, you know, innovative ways of delivering services to our customers. So virtual stores is a big thing. Concierge service is a big thing for us. We're very focused on making sure that we bring products to our customers rather than have them come to us.
You're doing any curbside service? I know that's a big deal.
Every day. Curbside's huge for us, especially throughout the pandemic. You know, we made sure that customers were able to drive up to our store and retrieve products at the curbside. But I also want to mention the fact that that concierge service delivering products to our customers was key too.
Have you guys incurred any losses as a result of COVID-19?
Well, when you say losses, yeah, of course we've seen reduction in subscribers. You know, everybody's feeling the pinch of COVID-19. Certainly the economic depression within the country, that's been a problem for us. But we're still very, very focused on making sure we deliver the best services for both mobile and fixed. And customers still continue to choose BTC as their first choice.
And what's the outlook for BTC, I guess, moving forward or outside of
Well, listen, we're looking to the future. We're looking at how, again, we reshape our business and how we deliver more innovative products to our customers. As I mentioned, we continue to invest in the fixed network a lot, so our fiber to the home is doing fantastic. We've got amazing broadband speeds on that network, so anyone sitting in that fiber to the home footprint really should be on that network. We give up to 600 megabits of capacity. As we went into the COVID-19, we increased capacities on the fixed services so that people had good bandwidth going to their homes, and the same thing was done for the mobile services. Double data was provided. So we've done a lot to make sure that those products are meeting the demands of people now working from home, staying safe.
Now the big question, is BTC ready, or should I say BTC hurricane ready, because we're in the midst of hurricane
BTC
season.
is always hurricane ready, and we certainly had a rough time with Dorian, no doubts about that. We certainly hope that this year is not going to be as tumultuous as it was last year, but we are ready. In fact, we've done a lot of innovation with some of our new central offices, where those central offices are containerized and we can actually remove them so that they are safe during a hurricane. So we're pretty ready this year. We've been working very hard. It's a 12-month initiative for us to always look at preparedness for hurricanes.
Any additional upgrades for BTC?
Biggest thing is more investment in the fixed network. As I mentioned, we're going to continue to drive fiber to the home throughout all of the islands, especially in New Providence and especially in Grand Bahama.
Okay, thank you so much, Andre Foster, for joining us here on the Morning Edition as we celebrate our second anniversary.
Yep, thank you very much.
Stay close, we've got more right after this. You're watching our second anniversary celebrations.
The Ministry of Health wishes to advise members of the public that prevention is key during this flu season. Practicing good cough hygiene can make the difference between you and your loved ones getting the flu or spreading the influenza virus. Good cough hygiene habits include covering your mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and proper disposal of the tissue in a trash bin. Coughing or sneezing into your upper sleeve near your inner elbow and not your hands when a tissue is not available. Avoiding the use of handkerchiefs and towels as they hold germs, becoming a nest for the virus. And frequently washing your hands with soap and water, which is listed as one of the most important steps you can take to avoid getting sick and passing the virus on to others. If you have any questions about how to practice good cough hygiene to avoid catching or spreading the flu, contact your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Here's your COVID health tip for today. To reduce your risk of COVID-19, it's important that you wear your face mask the right way. Your mask must cover both your nose and your mouth. Only covering your mouth is not enough because you can inhale respiratory droplets through your nose. If you and others around you are not wearing your mask properly, respiratory droplets from someone else can land in your nose, your mouth, and even your eyes. Or sometimes someone's droplets can land on the surface that you touch. Then you touch your eyes and your nose, and then you can become infected too. There should be no gaps in between your face and your mouth. In addition to wearing face masks, avoid touching your face. Practice physical distancing, proper hand washing, and disinfecting frequently. Touch surfaces. Most importantly, stay at home. Do your part to prevent the spread of COVID-19. This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys' waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been jonesing for some grouper dread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work. Where the fish gone though?
But how though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
you should see this cute little honey of a poodle I dating now, you know.
What, you with another girlfriend? Man, what happened to the last dog you was going out with?
Man, I had to dump her, but she's getting too clingy.
Well, I hope you protecting yourself.
Yeah, you see, I don't let none of them know where I live.
No, man, I don't mean so they don't find you. I mean getting yourself neutered so you don't have a little bunch of spots running all around.
Man, I ain't worry about that. I is man. I know what I doing.
Yeah, famous last words. Well, I guess you ain't hear what happened to Skippy, eh?
What? What happened to Skippy?
Well, let's just say he ain't skipping around no more. He ain't get himself neutered. Now he in the doghouse with a wife and 9 puppies.
Man, I gotta get myself neutered, but you know I like to run free.
Wait, ain't that your old girlfriend Fifi coming behind you?
Keep the stray dog population down in the Bahamas. Make sure your dog has been spayed or neutered. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Well, we have the winner of our first trivia question, which was who was the first female general manager here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Our winner is Yvette Hall of Westwood Villas and an employee of the Gaming Board. We thank you so much for watching us here on the Morning Edition. Now, here's your second trivia question. What family island did the Morning Edition team visit for its first off-island show? You've got a chance to call in at 502-3833. We're now going to toss things over to our Jimanita Swain, who's standing by with the live executives. Good morning again, Jimanita.
Good morning again, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. Of course, we're coming to you live again from Parliament Square, and staying connected is an important element in the day-to-day living. But of course, making adjustments as it relates to the coronavirus pandemic is one thing that Alive has been focused on. So joining me live to talk about their plan from March and moving forward is, of course, the Chief Commercial Officer, Miss Gravette Brown. Good morning, Gravette, and of course, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning, Jimmy. I'm so happy to be here with you.
So tell us, what have been the major adjustments that Alive has had to make, like other companies, in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, when we first started to hear about COVID, we immediately started thinking as an executive team about the two main pillars. How do we protect our employees and how do we protect our business? And so for the first thing, we moved almost instantly after the Prime Minister's first alert, first emergency order. We moved instantly to a work from home environment across actually the entire Cable Bahamas group of companies. So within 2 days, almost all of our staff members who needed to work from home were working from home, with the exception of engineers and people who needed to roam. In addition to that, we had to make some various decisions about staffing and reinforcing and ensuring that everyone had the technology that they needed to be effective. So we did that very quickly. We're using all of the technological Zoom, team meetings, all of those things. And then we started thinking about our businesses. Within the first week, we had to shut down our stores. So we instantly moved to move our customers digital. We started promoting heavily our app and our website. We engaged in curbside delivery and assistance. And we just did all of those. And then we started giving our customers more deals and offers and discounts to ease what we knew was going to be a very difficult time.
So what would have been the impact to the businesses? Obviously, as we all know, there was the shutdown period, and obviously as you went to the digital platform, but what kind of effect or impact did that have on your business, and how are you rebounding now that we see the phased reopening behind us?
Well, Jimanita, we had already done a lot of work to move our customers to digital platforms. We have a world-class app, the second version of which we rolled out at the end of last year. We have kiosks deployed throughout the Bahamas. So we really relied heavily on those platforms, and we were able to move a good percentage of our business there. So people got used to using the app, using the kiosk and the gas stations. So that really saved us. However, like all businesses, we certainly experienced some softening in our business results. But because we were able to move most of our customers successfully to digital, and because we had strong and robust digital platforms, the storm that we weathered was not as bad as it could have been. So we're very grateful for that. We continue to be grateful to our subscribers, and we continue to try to provide that great service. Once the economy reopened and our stores were able to reopen, our business has come back nicely, I would say. However, we are not complacent. We continue to be very aggressive in making sure that Bahamians always get that same great service that they're used to receiving from us. And we continue to be what we consider to be a pioneer and a thought leader in all things innovation and digital. So you would see now that we're rolling out even more digital services. We are doing things with the government in terms of smart education, smart health. We have recently rolled out a rewards app that's all digital called The List. So we're even increasing the rewards that people have for doing various things. So those have been our primary interventions over the last few months. And, you know, we remain grateful to the Bahamian consumer for seeing us through. And we intend to be here with you. We intend to remain connected and help that you are connected and to be with you through another trying time.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Of course, Alive's Chief Commercial Officer, that is Ms. Gravette Brown, joining us here and just talking to us about what Alive has been doing throughout the pandemic. Back to you in studio, LaDon.
Thanks a lot, Jimanita. Last year, June, the entertainment world lost one of its finest sons, Devon MD's Night, to a senseless act of violence. But as we celebrate our anniversary this morning, we would like to pay a special tribute to MD's, who performed a few months before his untimely death. Take a look.
Bluetooth on dash, we are listening to tempted to touch. Start daydream boy your body and now me really need it so much. Girl, I feel send a voice note, yo, babes, I really need that. I really need that. Emoji come back so I know you really need this. Just send me a pic, yeah. Never know me woulda make a good girl turn wild like this, yeah. From me looking at your face, baby girl, I know you want this. I know you want this, yeah. Exercise for your body, girl, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. You know what it is, yeah. So girl, you're the shelter. Baby, get you umbrella. I'm about to change the weather. I'm about to get the place better. Cause when you are around me, bad company. When you are around me, bad company. When you are around me, bad company. When you are around me.
Now, Dyson, you've performed many times with MD's. Talk to us a little bit about your relationship with him.
That is my boy. We went to school together, actually, primary school. And, you know, we have the same last name, so we grew up. Well, actually, in school, we didn't know. But later on, as we became artists, we just called each other cousin, you know? So when he walk in the place, he's like, hello! So shout out to MD's forever.
So talk to me, I know you got a lot of things going on with your career. Tell us a little bit about it.
COVID-19. Yeah. That's all that's going on right now. You know, 2020 is done, but it's always nice to have an opportunity to perform and to continue to share this music with the world. Because I know the world is watching right now. So I'm about to do something for you called All For You, which has a music video. It's beautiful. You go to YouTube, subscribe, and check it out. You know, play it, keep it on repeat.
So I'm not going to postpone you any longer. So you're going to perform for us this morning as we celebrate our second anniversary.
No, I'm performing for you. It's your birthday. Let's do this. Let's go.
Dyson Night, everyone.
Hey! Woo! Ha! I'm ready to rock and chip down the road. Let's go. Play my horn. Hey! Hey! It's LaDon's birthday, y'all! Let's go. Hey! Woman, you're like a spark of light. Fix me up, make my life feel right. You know how to put a smile on my face. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Together we harmonize. Melody on my bass line. Moving to the rhythm our heartbeats play. Ooh, yeah, yeah. On each day, my darling, I find myself falling deep. I'm falling deep. I'm falling deep. Watch this dance. I'm falling. Your face in the morning got this singer falling deep. Yeah, sing, girl, I give it all. It's all to you. Hey, ha, come on, take it, cause it's all for you. Yeah, play this horn, let me hold LaDon and jam now. Hey, you, yeah, yeah, 2 years, y'all. Watch this, this might be the shit. In the morning time, till it's time to wine. My mind's on you, my girl. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I'm like a superhero. Nobody's equal. with you inside my world. Oh yeah, yeah. On each day, my darling, I find myself falling. I'm falling deep. Yeah, come on. Hey, hey, hey. Your face in the morning got this singer falling. Let's go, y'all. We having a party in here 2 years. Girl, I give it all to you. Hit me on 3. It's all for you. Woo! Play my horn, let me hold my woman and jump. Like steel and stronger than a lion, feel like a giant. How you does love me up, how you does love me up, how you does. I really feel sometimes like a. You gotta fly, you gotta fly, you gotta fly, you gotta fly. How you does love me up. Let's go Bahamas. It's all to you. Woo! Hey, take it 'cause it's all. Yeah, come on, one more time, y'all singing me. Sing. I give it all to you. Oh yeah, this the choir here, choir. It's all for you. Ooh, play my horn, come on.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water. Apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
Well, he's been a cuisine chef for a number of years and has catered to the taste buds of locals and international guests and celebrities. He's also been a staple here on the Morning Edition. I'm joined by Chef Jamal Petty. Jamal, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Oh, thanks. I feel like I'm back home all over again.
We're celebrating 2 years, and I know you've been a staple here. You've been not only whipping it up with dishes, but also drinks. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I think this was one of those things that almost is reminiscent of when I was growing up. And I saw, you know, the anchors and everything on ZNS, and they were like our stars. So it felt almost like a version of a Bahamian Food Network for me. So it was great, man. I think the response and everything was great. I mean, a lot of people, I was really surprised by the amount of people that view it and watch it and kind of connect with whatever it is that we was doing.
Now, you have a Food on Wheels initiative, Food Play. Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, Food Play, that was one of the things that I developed, especially during COVID, because I felt that I wanted to create an opportunity where somebody could get something that was, really delicious, something gourmet, but not necessarily have to go through all of the encumbrances of trying to get into a restaurant, but to get the same kind of a quality experience. And that's where Food Play kind of came from. It was me just playing with food and trying to bring that to people in a different kind of way.
And where are you located now, and what's actually on the menu?
Oh, well, I'm actually located over at I've been over at the Tin Foil. That's the place there on Mackey Street. It's basically a pop-up with a bunch of other food trucks and other people who create stuff. And I'll be there for the next couple of weekends. That particular truck is a pasta truck. And then there's a second one that I'm getting ready to unveil in about a week or two. That is going to be, I call it like a petty shop, because unlike the pasta truck that's kind of specific to creating like pastas with Bahamian ingredients or infused with Bahamian ingredients, that one is basically going to be a playground with some of the things that we're familiar with, but I'm going to give kind of like a unique modern twist on some Bahamian favorites. So your stew fish may be a spring roll, or maybe your instead of your conch fritters, I do like the guava fritters with the guava duff sauce to kind of give somebody a different taste experience. I want to play with people's mind. That's why I got the whole Food Play name.
We're running out of time here, but talk to me about, I know that you have another venture coming up. I know Cable Beach, that's your next location. Tell us about that.
Right, well, the second one, definitely, that's the Grammy kind of a kitchen, but I wanted to create a kitchen that could represent a bit of entertainment and food. It basically looks like an old Bahamian house, but I wanted to create that particular one so that whether it's tourists or people visiting the country, they could be able to experience our arts and entertainment, but through food.
Chef Jamal Petty, thank you so much for joining us here as we celebrate our 2nd anniversary, and best of luck on your new Food Play initiative.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have the winner of our second trivia question, which was, what family island did the Morning Edition team visit for its first off island show? Our winner is Sterling Woods of Soldier Road. We thank you so much for watching. We have a special performance by our very own Patrice Morel. Patrice? Okay. Patrice, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing, LaDawn?
I'm good.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. So talk to me a little bit about, I guess, your career. I know COVID, I guess, put a damper on your career. Talk to me about that.
I think like most artists across the globe, it's kind of dampened our careers a little bit, but we're grateful for opportunities like this, and of course for the virtual world web to allow us to kind of just be able to show ourselves and our talent and share our music on a virtual platform.
And so we want to be in celebration mode. We want to have a good time this morning. What are you going to be singing for us this morning?
Well, I heard that you're a heavyweight. Are you a heavyweight?
I think so.
It's your birthday today, so you're a heavyweight.
Yeah, just a
And I know Zenanes is a heavyweight in the business. So I'm about to bring y'all some heavyweight music right now.
Patrice Morel.
Hey, let's party. Patrice Morel. Excuse me, please. I might be something rude. Could you help me? I just won't get through. Anything that I and I must jump from my head. I in charge of wine and I want some company. I hear really talking. Eyes on me watching, teasing, make you want me. Body fit me planted. It's just one shot to levitate. Two driver designate. Three women hesitate. Come on, Bahamas, I say heavyweight today. Too long I wait for this. Eyes are heavyweight today. What we can do, LaDawn? Party, 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 party. Keep on drinking, keep on drinking. Do you want to go jungle? Baby girl, tell me what to do. Swap me, show me what you work for. Don't try to pull around. Come on, let's go. Good morning, Bahamas. We're here to celebrate 2 years, the 2nd anniversary of this beautiful Morning Edition with Zenanes and LaDawn's birthday. So get off your seats, all right? Hey! Eyes on me watching, teasing, make you want me. Everybody fit me planted. It's just one shot to levitate. Two driver designate. Three wheel hesitate. Come on! Eyes are heavyweight today. Too long I wait for this. I'm one more today. Eyes are heavyweight today. Party, 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 party. Keep on drinking, keep on drinking. Do you want to go drunk or no? Baby girl, tell me what to do. Swampy, show me what you work for. Don't try to follow along. Hey, every line win. My business mixing like no time. Bitch, I'm in party in no time. Hey, listen, I hearing me talking. I want me to watching teasing, make you want me. My body fit me planted. It's just one shot to levitate. Two drivers designate. Three we not hesitate. Come on, Bahamas, I have you today. Hey, too long I wait for this. I go on my way today. I have you today. Yeah, what we can do? Party, 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 party. Keep on drinking, keep on drinking. Do you want to go drunk or no? Baby girl, tell me what to do. Swampy, show me what you work for. One shot to levitate, two driver designate. Three, we don't hesitate. Why? Because we are heavyweights in this.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here as we celebrate our 2nd anniversary. Cody, oh wow, this is actually me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sketching me on my birthday. It's been a really, really good experience. I wish Fisher was here, but you're missing it, Fisher. We had a great time. Thank you guys so much for joining us here over the past 2 years. Good morning, everybody.
2 years.
Yes, 2 years.